Welcome to today's episode, where we explore the most shocking and jaw-dropping tales from Reddit. These stories will leave you speechless. You won't believe what some people have confessed. Make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a story. Now, let's dive in. Our first story comes from a Reddit user named Heartbroken One. They shared this confession on a popular subreddit, and it's one you definitely won't forget. Here's what they had to say: "I've had a crush on my best friend for 10 years. We've been inseparable since childhood. Everyone around us thought we were a couple, but we never admitted it, mainly because I knew it would ruin our friendship. But last year, something changed. I finally confessed my feelings. But it turns out, my best friend had been in love with me too. 4 years. Only, they were too scared to tell me because they didn't want to ruin our friendship either. Now, we're in a complicated relationship, and I don't know if I regret telling them or not. Sometimes, we keep our feelings buried because we're afraid of the consequences, but sometimes, honesty can bring people closer. What do you think? Let me know in the comments." Next, we have a confession from a Redditor named Family Mystery. This one involves a dark family secret. Here's what they had to say: "Growing up, my family always seemed perfect. My parents were loving, and we were always happy together. But one day, I overheard a conversation between my mom and aunt that changed everything. It turns out, my real father isn't who I thought it was. My mom had an affair when she was young, and the man I've called dad for years isn't my biological father. I'm torn between confronting my mom and keeping the peace. I don't know if I want to know more or if it's better to let the secret stay buried." Family secrets can be incredibly painful, especially when they shatter the image of what you thought was true. It's a tough position to be in. Would you want to know the truth, or is ignorance bliss? Our next confession comes from Secret Admirer 37. This one is full of twists and turns that'll leave you questioning everything. Let's take a look. "I've been in love with someone for years, but there's one big problem: they're married to my sister. We were close friends before they got together, and now, I'm just there, watching them be happy. I try my best to be supportive, but every time they smile at each other, it breaks my heart. I would never do anything to ruin their relationship. But I can't help how I feel. It's like a painful secret I carry with me every day." Love can be a complicated, painful emotion, especially when it involves family. What would you do in this situation? How do you move forward when your heart is at odds with your loyalty? Here's an intense confession from a Redditor named Identity Thief. This one is all about deception and regret. "I once stole someone's identity for a few months. It started out as a joke, a prank, just to see if I could get away with it. But then I got hooked. I opened a credit card in their name, rented an apartment, and started living their life. It was thrilling at first, but eventually, the guilt ate away at me. I finally confessed to the person whose identity I had stolen, and surprisingly, they forgave me. But now, I'm living in constant fear that I'll get caught. I can't undo what I did, but I've learned the hard way that crime doesn't pay. Stealing someone's identity is a huge crime, and living with that guilt is unbearable. It's a reminder that sometimes, even the smallest harmless pranks can have big consequences." What would you have done if you were the victim here? Here's one that hits home for a lot of people. It's from Reddit user Broken Trust. This story touches on betrayal, and it might leave you feeling heartbroken. "I was in a relationship for 5 years, and I thought we were happy. But then I found out my partner had been cheating on me for months with someone from their work. They never knew that I found out. I couldn't bring myself to confront them because, in some sick way, I didn't want to lose them. So, I stayed quiet, pretending everything was fine, but my trust was shattered. I never left, but I feel like I'm living a lie every day." Betrayal in a relationship is one of the hardest things to deal with. It's difficult to find the strength to confront the truth, especially when you don't know how it will change everything. What would you have done in this situation? This next confession comes from Dark Web Explorer. It's a wild tale that involves the internet and some things better left unseen. "I stumbled upon the dark web out of curiosity. I didn't know what I was getting into. At first, it was just browsing strange sites, but then, I found a forum where people were talking about things I never thought I would read. I stayed on the site for weeks, digging deeper into things I couldn't unsee. I started to feel like I was part of something dangerous, and the weight of it all hit me hard. I left that world behind, but sometimes, I still wonder what would have happened if I kept going. The dark web is a dangerous place, and what people do there can be chilling. It's a reminder to always be careful about where your curiosity takes you. Have you ever wondered what's lurking behind those hidden doors? And for our final confession, we have something that might surprise you. It comes from double life. Let's hear it.